Hey guys, so we're going to have a little look at coordinate geometry of the circle. Now, coordinate geometry of the circle is a little bit difficult, a little bit tricky, but it leads on from coordinate geometry of the line, and hopefully it won't cause too many problems. So we're going to look at now writing the equation of a circle. So like you can write the equation of a line, you can write the equation of a circle. And there's two different situations you can have a circle with a centre 0, 0, or you can have a circle that doesn't have a centre 0, 0, and we don't call them x and y, we call the coordinates h and k. Now, in this video we're going to look at circles where we have a centre that is not 0, 0, so we're going to include this h and k. So the formula for the equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is all equal to r squared. And r squared there is our radius squared. So we're going to sub in for h and k and r. So find the equation of a circle with centre 2 minus 3 and radius 5. So all this is just subbing in. This here is going to be my h, this is going to be my k, and my radius is going to be 5. So if I write out the equation of a circle there, it's x minus h squared plus y minus k all to be squared is all equal to r squared. And what I have underlined in green here is what I'm going to replace. It's that easy. Now, the big mistake people are going to make is a sign mistake in this. Remember, this minus here will change the sign of this, and this minus here will change the sign of this. So you have to use your rules for when you are multiplying positive and negative numbers. 2 minuses make a plus, and the plus and the minus is a minus. So let's sub in here. So I've got x minus, h in this case is 2. So that was a positive 2 and becomes a negative 2, all to be squared, plus y, that's a minus 3. So if you've got a minus here, we have to change the sign because your 2 minuses make a positive. So I'm just going to put it in. So minus 3 all to be squared is equal to r squared, which is 5 squared. So if I rewrite it, I get x minus 2 all to be squared plus y minus gives me plus 3 all to be squared. It's all equal to 5 squared. And as you can see there, you've got the equation of a circle. And what we're not going to do here, okay, is we're not going to multiply it out. So there's no need to multiply out these brackets. If you multiply out the 5 squared and make it 25, that's okay, but we can leave it in that form there. A lot of the time it allows us to leave it in that form. So that's the basics there for writing out the equation of a circle with a centre that's h and k, so not 0, 0. Let's move on and have a look at a slightly different variation of the question. So find the centre radius of the circle. X plus 3 all to be squared plus y minus 4 all to be squared is equal to 8. So we're working backwards here. We're given the equation of a circle and we have to work backwards. So our formula here, our equation here is this. And remember, the equation of a circle that doesn't have a centre 0, 0 is x minus h all to be squared plus y minus k all to be squared is equal to r squared. I'm going to put that in underneath there. So let's think about this. I know h is going to be this number here, right? So when I work back, if I put 3 in here, right, I'd have x minus 3 all to be squared. But this is actually a positive. So the only way this works is if this is a minus 3. Let's check it. Put a minus 3 in here. X minus 3 gives me x plus 3 squared. So signs, that's a little bit tricky. Signs are important here. A minus 3 goes in here, 2 minuses make a plus, so it's x plus 3 squared. Same for this one. Y minus k all to be squared. Well, we got y minus 4. Still got our minus there, so that's okay. So in this case, it's just going to be a positive 4. Let's check it. Y minus 4 all to be squared, well that matches up there. So that is my h, that's my centre, and that is my k. Now, r squared there is 8. That's not a nice square number. Right? If that was 9, you'd say r is 3, because the square root of 9 is 3. So, we can't have a surd answer or a decimal answer, so I leave it as a surd. So we know that if r squared is equal to 8, then r must be the square root of 8. We just take the square root of 8. So r squared is equal to 8. Well, r must be the square root of 8 there. So that's getting the centre and the radius of the circle, but working backwards. And finally, we're just going to have a little look at a kind of problem solving one. Now, this here says the circle with a centre 1, 3 passes through the points 3, 5. Find the equation of the circle. So, again, I'm going to write it out. So, get x minus h all to be squared plus y minus k all to be squared is all equal to r squared. That is my equation of the circle. Right? That is my equation of the circle there. So I know that I have a centre here, which is h and k. Let's give them up here. So h and k there. That's perfect. Right? First part done. First piece of information, 1, 3 goes in for here. So h and k. But I'm missing my radius. So my radius is missing. And let's see. If you think about it, I can actually figure out my radius because I know that the centre is 1 and 3 and it passes through the points 3 and 5. If you look here, that's the centre, it goes through that point there. Radius is half of the diameter of the circle, the diameter is the whole way across. So from the centre to the edge, that's the radius. So if I find the distance between these 2 points, then I actually get the radius. So if I find the distance from here to here, I get the radius. And that's going back to the coordinate geometry of a line. And the distance formula is the square root of x2 minus x1 all to be squared plus y2 minus y1 all to be squared. So I've got my points there. I've got 1, I've got 3, I've got 3, I've got 5. I can call them x1, y1, x2, y2. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to simply put them in. So x2 minus x1, 3 minus 1 all to be squared, plus y2 minus y1, 5 minus 3 all to be squared. So when you put that into your calculator, right, it's going to give you 2 squared plus 2 squared, which is 4 plus 4, which is the square root of 8. It does a coincidence, it was the same as the last one. So this is going to give me the square root of 8 as my radius. So now I know my radius is square root of 8. And what I can do is I can sub it into this formula here now. I have x minus, put some in green, I'm going to sub in 1 for h, so I go 1 there, all to be squared, plus y minus 3 all to be squared is equal to r squared, which is the square root of 8 all to be squared, and the square root of 8 all to be squared you can actually change to 8. You still get full marks if you don't, but the square root of 8 squared put into your calculator is 8. And that's a little problem solving question that's quite popular in some form on the Leaving Cert.